I get people trying to argue with me all the time. They try to argue numbers and other things, which just it's not going to work on me. I gave you guys actual numbers.
Yeah, and I showed that Shazam was pretty much even with Black Adam, the first Shazam, and also that The Rock pretty much was a big part of it too, because he tried to convince Warner Brothers to keep Henry Cavill, even though The Rock didn't do anything to help Henry Cavill's career. He he pretty much told Henry Cavill, "F you, and you just help me." And also, The Rock was so arrogant in thinking that he should have his own movie, even though the Rock, Black Adam was Shazam's like Joker, you know, equivalent, and within an entire universe, I think separating them is not a good idea unless the two things are completely separate, like the Joker movie or the Batman movie, like Black Adam movie, Shazam movie. If it was completely separate, nothing to do with it, separate them. Yes, I get that. But they were sharing the same universe, which separating them in that sense doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's just
in the last video, and there's a reason why these films are tanking right now.
Maybe because of Ezra Miller, and people don't really want to support him. I even heard some people even say that they just wanted to watch it probably in HBO Max or something to not directly support him.
People just don't feel like they mean anything. And
not really.
With the announcement of the reboot,
I even talked to some people talking about DC stuff, and they don't even know about a reboot. They just see superhero movie and there's like, oh, superhero movie, let's just go and watch it. But I think The Flash just failed because of the Ezra Miller thing, and also the whole so many superhero movies, don't know which to watch kind of thing, and they prefer, a lot of people do prefer Marvel over DC.
These last 4 films, people are like, who cares? They're not part of the continuity anymore, so I'm not going to bother with it.
Not really. The majority don't even know DC. Some people even say Marvel whenever they're talking about a DC movie, so
there is a way to get everybody back, especially with the studio, the just Hollywood going on a strike with the writers, and the actors are going to be involved with this shortly as well. They did vote to strike, so this thing could go on for quite a while, and I'm going to talk about what they could do in the meantime to get back in the good graces of everybody and kind of appease both factions.
Yeah, do unscripted and not have hire actors,
and get people back into the theater. We've been lied to, though. The first time was...
Yeah, constantly other studios lie too. Why are you only specifically pointing at Warner Brothers? Disney lies all the time.
With Shazam, where they said, oh, if Shazam does well, he'll be one of the characters in the DCU. Then you had The Flash come out.
Yeah. And that credit scene kind of proved that they were possibly wanting to do that. So what's your point?
And you had the man himself, James Gunn, say that it's one of the best superhero films he has ever seen.
Yeah, that's an opinion. You're yeah.
You also had David Zaslav say he saw it like 5 times. You had actors come out and talk about how much they loved the movie, which also did not seem normal. And it's not normal for them to do that.
Yeah, Stephen King even said he doesn't normally do this.
It was all manufactured hype. Now it's getting even worse. They're desperate for these last two films because The Flash performed way worse than even I ever anticipated. Like it tanked big time. And you had Michael.
And it seemed like you're happy about that because you wanted it to fail because, like, middle finger to DC, I guess, or something like that, right?
Keaton back as Batman. And that's a shame. More people should be going to see it because he was phenomenal in that film. We have the studio coming out and saying that, they were going to do Batman Beyond had it done well. That's bullcrap because I'm going to drop a spoiler now. So if you haven't seen it, skip this quick section and jump ahead.
Why don't you just put a number on so they know how much to skip? Because what if they accidentally skip something important to... Oh, you want them to rewatch this, that's why. Okay.
10 seconds. Batman died
10 seconds, you know...
in the film. Okay? So, they can't go that route.
Unless they bring him back, right?
They had already canceled that before Gunn took over. So, that they're lying when they say had it done well. Again, that's just trying to get people into the seats.
That's not really lying, because if it did well and people talked about, oh, I can't wait for this, and so many people talked about, they might do it. And also, even if it is lying, then every studio misleads people.
Now we have it happening with Blue Beetle. You had James Gunn come out and say, oh, Blue Beetle is going to be the first official character in the DCU. And then you have the director now coming out saying it is the first official film of the DCU, which we know is not true. It's not until Superman Legacy, but they're trying to...
No. What are you saying when is like Superman Legacy? Is it because that one video was like start and that's start thing? Well, things can change and move around, kind of like idea when they were making the Black Adam movie. It changed. He's out. Changed their mind. It happens all the time.
I'm going to say this to save grace, and I think it's going to tank as well. Might do better than The Flash, but I don't think it's going to make even nearly as much money as Black Adam did.
Are you nearly as much as Black Adam? Black Adam didn't do much at all. You're acting like Black Adam was really successful. That's like 39 something million. Oh, okay.
Black Adam, people were looking forward to what was coming up, and then they got stabbed in the back.
No, it still wasn't successful enough for them to consider bringing Henry Cavill back.
And that's why these films are suffering now.
No, that's not the reason. The general audience doesn't know about any of this type of stuff. Only people that really, really look into stuff. And yeah.
So here's my plan on how I would fix this, especially considering there is a strike and things could get pushed back beyond 2025 into 2026 and 2027. First thing I would do, perfect opportunity to re-release Man of Steel. It is the 10th anniversary of Man of Steel. And reach out to Zack Snyder and...
Oh, okay. Zack Snyder. Yeah. Zack Snyder. So freaking annoying.
have him add in a few scenes that we haven't seen before.
Really? Snyder moved on. Can you please move on? He even says he's moving on and doing Netflix stuff.
To get people excited to come in and watch this.
So pretty much mislead them, because shooting just a few scenes and pretty much saying, oh, it's a new thing, or additional scenes and everything. You're still saying mislead people, right?
That would be amazing. I would go back multiple times to the theater if they re-released Man of Steel.
You're just brown nosing. You're just being a Snyder cult leader or something like that, right?
Even as it is, I would go back multiple times.
Oh, really? Even movies I love dearly, I don't do this.
Then I would re-release Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition.
Of course, another Snyder.
Because the general population never saw the Ultimate Edition. There are many people that don't even know that that Ultimate Edition even exists.
Martha. Who said that?
Then I would re-release The Suicide Squad, but not the one that was released in theaters. I would release David Ayer's version of The Suicide Squad because general audiences and fans have never seen that version.
Yeah, I agree with that. Something that's already been made, finished, and done with. Release that.
Of the film. What a great way to segue into Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Another Zack Snyder thing. Oh, wait. Didn't you say doing things, making different versions of things would confuse the audience? At some point, I remember you saying this. You're gonna confuse the audience. Well, releasing multiple of Superman stuff and Batman stuff before another reboot will confuse the audience.
Finally being released in theaters for general consumption by the public. The thing is, all of these films are done.
No, you're saying to bring in Snyder to add more scenes. It's not done because you're telling him to add more things.
It's not going to cost the studio a lot of money to add maybe a couple of scenes to Man of Steel.
It would cost him a lot of money. Bringing in the suit that's already somewhere else completely and like presented and like, I'm pretty sure like the Warner Brothers amusement park in Dubai, I'm pretty sure. Or even the Warner Brothers lot in Hollywood. Or making a completely new one. Finding locations to shoot. Because I'm pretty sure you would get mad. They shot in green screen, so. And also scripting that without a writer. And oh yeah, the actor thing. So if some of the actors are in strike, how would you recreate scenes or make scenes without the actor, unless you CGI the face and everything? Yeah.
To release Batman vs. Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters. And when they release Zack Snyder's Justice League, I would leave a couple of months in between, break it into 2 parts. And then release.
Why 2 parts? Is it because the movie's too long? And if it's in theaters in 2 parts, wouldn't people have to schedule their life around the watching first part and then the second part? Wouldn't that stress people out? Wouldn't it be easier to make it a show like Zack Snyder intended?
Release them a couple of months apart. You get nothing but bank off of this.
No. You'll get confusion out of it, like you said, two different versions of the same character. Seems like you're saying stuff. It's probably your age.
Okay, you can make a lot of money, which is going to help them because.
So you want them to shoot extra scenes without writers, actors, because they were both on strike, and releasing stuff, communicating with the theaters, working with the money issues that goes with it, and also the theater schedules, finding show times for those things, and when do you want them to release them? Because other years, movies got pushed back so much that a lot of movies, big movies, are in just 1 year. So where do you want them to release the movies?
Because they're not going to have a whole lot of new material to be released over the next couple of years.
New material, as in you saying that they should shoot extra scenes,
because of what is happening behind the scenes.
and yet you're saying for them to shoot extra scenes.
In the meantime, I would greenlight the Batman solo movie with Affleck.
Again. Yeah. What if he moved on? What if he doesn't want to play it anymore? And you even said that he's open to continuing, but you took that quote out of context, because he says he enjoyed the thing, he liked the character, and he missed the character. Doesn't mean he wants to keep playing the character.
And Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. That script is already written. There are lots of insiders who said that was the best Batman script they have ever.
Already written doesn't mean doesn't mean they're completely finished, because making a movie, they rewrite stuff, remove stuff, add stuff, so forth.
Ever read. Get that in the theaters. Get people hyped.
No.
And then I would announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3.
Wow. Without even rebooting. More writers.
As an Elseworlds story to finish it up.
Elseworld. So multiple Elseworlds. Would that confuse the audience?
Because Gunn doing what he's doing is there are mixed messages, and I'm going to talk about the dangers of what he's doing and how.
You're so against him. I'm just gonna end this video. This video is being taking too long, and yeah, this is just him hating on Gunn the millionth time, and this is the reason why I'm doing this response type of stuff. It's just really fun to talk about. He's giving too much content for me to ignore, because yeah, just moving on.